Shahzad Sheikh, Motoring Middle East, and this of course is the new 2015 Mazda 2. This one is the hatchback. We get 3 trim levels from Galadari here in the UAE. For the hatchback we get an S at 47,900, a V at 51,900, and an R, which is this one, top of the line, 58,900. First thing to note on this top of the line one is you get a 16-inch alloy wheels instead of the 15 that you would get in the regular car. This also comes with a saloon in the 2 levels, S and R. The S is 47,900, same as the hatch, and the R is 57,900. Now this top of the line model is very well equipped. So in addition to the wheels, the headlamps are LED auto leveling. You only get that on this, and you probably, or actually maybe you just about might be able to make out through this video, but you get front and rear disc brakes, whereas on the lesser models you get rear drum brakes. So definitely worth having. Inside you get cruise control, climate control, 6-speaker stereo, a head-up display, leather seats, and a leather trim steering wheel with remotes, paddle shifts, a rear camera. My goodness, this car is well equipped and safe because you get side and curtain airbags as well as the regular front ones on the lesser models. Okay, so let's have a little bit of a closer look at this. Let's see if I can open up the boot for you. Should be able to do that from here. There we go. So yeah, pretty standard fare for this sort of car. Split folding, 60/40 rear seats. Not too bad. Not too bad at all for a little hatchback. Question is though, can I get into the back of it? Well, let's have a look. Okay, oh, alright, yeah, this is a little bit tight for me. Nicely trimmed though. Love these seats with these inserts and the leather and the striping that you have on here, and those central armrests. Headroom is okay, shoulder room is a bit tight for me, legroom is definitely tight for me. But obviously 6'1" plus. I've got this front seat set for myself, so clearly just getting in here was going to be impressive, never mind actually fitting. I couldn't ride very long like this, honestly speaking, but I think for 4 regular sized adults it should be alright. Right, so let's start this up. And look at that heads-up display pop up there, you see that? Not badly done, says Mazda on it, gives you the speed, gives you the cruise control. I like this, it's set up like a sports bike, this dashboard. So information on the bottom right, you know, gives you the range, your fuel economy, etc., all the rest of it. And gear ratio on the left. Pretty straightforward, pretty clean, crisp, simple. I like it. A bit redundant though, because you've got speed there as well as there. Anyway, it's always good to know what speed you're doing. Nice bit of carbon effect trim on the steering wheel with these remote controls. This is cruise control, and this is your stereo and your info and all the rest of it. Leather trim steering wheel, as we said. More carbon effect down here. A nice little vent over here and over here. I like this. It's really nicely done. It's damped and it's soft. It moves nicely and it feels great to touch. This is astonishing because really I would expect that to be in a much more expensive car than this one. Talking of which, look at this leather insert here, and this is soft. This is soft. This is nice and soft. I mean, if you can see in this car, you look around. Let me put this mic on as well. If you look around, it's just so much more upmarket and so much better than I was expecting it to be. I mean, this is the entry-level Mazda, right? This is the small one. This is supposed to be the cheap one. But the materials in here, you know, there is plastic, but it feels nicely finished, nicely done. The vents are great. Now you're thinking, only the one vent for the center? That's what you're thinking, right? No, here's the other one. It's hidden in this design here. Cost cutting? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think they could have put one here, but I think they chose not to because of this nice sweep that you've got with this dashboard here. Nice curvature that follows all the way around, gives you that cockpit feel. And down here we have buttons down here. This is the volume, this is the controller for the screen up there. Only Mercedes and Mazda do these kind of sitting on top panels. That's what that is for. And here is your sports button for the Skyactiv 6-speed transmission here. Really that only affects the transmission, I believe. There's a couple of cup holders and a little box over here. Down here you got 2 USBs, power supply, aux and SD cards and stuff like that you can put in there. Climate control on this top of the range one, so that's quite nice. I think that's pretty much all I have to show you here, so I think it's probably time to go for a drive. So I'll just switch that off and put the belt on. So this car has the 1.5 liter 4-cylinder engine. In fact, all the Mazda 2s have 1.5s, and they're either we'll put it into sports mode because we're on this nice little road. So they're all 1.5 liter engines, whether they're in petrol or diesel. Of course, we don't get the diesels, we only get the petrols. Now, a little bit confused about this engine because I've tried to find out details about it. And the 1.5 comes in various states of tune, and internationally there's one that's 115, but this is not that one, and this is not the lower ones that I mentioned either. So this loses about 6 horsepower. This is about 100 and something, 105 horsepower. So, and similarly 102, 103 pounds-foot of torque. And you know, I don't know the 0 to 100, but I guess it's probably, well, the 115 is set about 8.7, so this is probably about 9 seconds. I would say top speed, certainly not more than 190. But I brought it to this little road because, you know, whilst the performance may not be there, but once you get the momentum up, it's a fun little car. The steering is actually very direct, very responsive. It's nicely weighted, not too heavy, not too light, which would have been a temptation in a car of this type to make it a very light steering wheel. But actually, you know, very well weighted indeed. I drove this here on the motorway, and on the motorway, like the interior, like the fact that when you sit in this car, you get a bigger car feel, you get an upmarket car feel. You feel like you're sitting in a plusher, posher car. Let me put that off sports mode because it's holding on to gears longer. That's what it's doing. That's what that sports mode actually does. And so it feels like a much plusher and posher car. Similarly, on the motorway, it felt like a bigger, more refined car. It was quiet. We get quite a bit of wind noise, as you'd expect, but not so much road roar. Very quiet in terms of rattles and squeaks, hardly anything at all. Very nice quality. That's a marker for the quality. And the ride too, very smooth, very good. You do get a little bit of wobble, a little bit of buffeting, and perhaps a little bit of float at higher speeds. But then this is a narrow, small car and only weighs about 1,000 kilograms. But, you know, you get, oh, this is so good. You can chuck it through that corner there. And, you know, you're expecting understeer. You know what, I'm going to put it over here and I'm going to use the paddles rather than the sport mode, so I can control it a bit better that way. But actually, that's so much better. And yeah, it's responsive. I mean, I'm not saying that this is a sports car, and this is certainly not a hot hatch, but, you know, good brakes as well. Thank God for those discs all round, because very responsive, instant bite, good feel, good calibration. You can actually change the attitude of the car a little bit on the brakes. Very, very nice. Not so much on liftoff, you know, but then there isn't actually that much understeer. Let's go into second. Yeah, you get like a little bit lift off. You can get the nose in a little bit. So, you know, I decided to change up there. Did you notice all by itself? So not entirely at your beck and call. Let's try again. So turn into this corner. No, hardly understood. Just yet now it's beginning to run wide, but you lift off and it just kind of, you can just feel it sort of twitching around a little bit, pulling itself around into the corner, and just getting back onto line again. So really, really good fun, really responsive. You know, I don't normally bring small city runabouts, city hatchbacks to this road, which I tend to reserve for more sporty metal. But I thought, you know what, this feels like it might be up to the job. In fact, it feels up to the job so much. Look at that, brilliant. It doesn't phase it at all. It's up to the job so much that I would suggest that they really should think about nicely move there. See, I could just hold it on the steering, turn it in, just get the right amount of slippage to know exactly where I'm going and get back on the gas again. it talks to you. I like cars that talk to you. This one is talking to me. I was going to say, I would suggest to Mazda, you know what? Put a 170, 180 brake horsepower unit into this and give it a manual gearbox, because I would be having even more fun if I had a manual gearbox, let's be honest. And I reckon you put a juicy engine in here with a manual, and this would be something of a riot. This would be something of a hoot. And for the hooligans out there, yes, it's got a proper traditional handbrake. Not that we advocate any usage of the handbrake other than to hold yourself in position once you are parked or on a hill should you require that assistance. But, you know, it's there. And I think this car could be a laugh. But as it is, okay, you may say the cheaper cars, this one is 58,000, but you know, with the curtain airbags and the all-round disc brakes, I would urge you to go for the top of the range car. Don't think of this as a rival to some of the other cheap small hatchbacks that are available in the market, because if you look at it from that point of view, you'll probably conclude quite correctly that this is a tad too expensive. But if you approach it from the point of view is that you want a good, small, cheap, economical car, I've been doing about 9 liters to 100 in this car, then which is very well equipped, has a great showroom appeal and a great feel-good value when you sit in this car, and when your friends and your family are going to sit in the car, they're going to go, "Ooh, this is rather nice." Then this is the one to look at, definitely. And I go with the hatchback rather than the saloon because I think it looks better. But yeah, I think if you're in for a nice, you know, you're a couple or a single person, you want a nice little car to run around in, or your first car, which you want it to be safe and very nice equipped so you can impress your friends, and you don't mind spending a little bit more than the norm, yeah, I would put this on your list, definitely. And I think I would even say this is probably my favorite in the Mazda range at the moment. Yes, I think I'm going to say it. I've said it. There you go. Thanks so much for watching. Please do follow us on all the social media. We are on Twitter, we are on Instagram, and we are most definitely on Facebook, where we do a lot of stuff. Just search for Motoring Middle East. Likewise, the same goes on YouTube. And if you are watching this on YouTube and you like this video, please do subscribe and share and let everybody else know. Till the next time. Testing Mazda 2, Mazda 2. This is a Mazda 2. Mazda 2 is go.